What's up guys, YST here and welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. And joined by me today is my good friend Mr. Nubby. How you doing today?
I'm all stuffed up with hay fever, but we're powering through. I've got a holiday coming. It's around the corner. I'm just like, that's the light at the end of the tunnel. Just like, come here.
Where are you going for holiday? I don't think you've told me yet.
We're going to Poland for
nice.
Just over a week. Yeah, so it should be quite nice.
All right.
Yeah, I've never been before, so looking forward to that.
But yeah, guys, what we thought of doing today was, as we're anticipating the Sylvan Watchers very soon, right? I believe in the next few weeks, next month, it should be dropping.
I think it's the start of July. Could be wrong though.
Yeah, so we thought it would be cool to just break down some options that we'll be looking for in anticipation for that. And also, correct me if I'm wrong, that we're not getting like a replacement reward of like a new champion. It'll just be added rewards very similar to how the Shadowkin was. But for players that hasn't attained Lydia yet, that will still be the final reward if you don't finish it before the Sylvan Watchers starts, right?
Yeah.
So if you are very close, or if you're like, oh, a few stars left, I would kind of say go for it as soon as possible. Otherwise, you're going to have to push the benchmark and finish the Sylvan Watchers as well. But yeah, so the way that we're going to break this video down is, in a hypothetical scenario, if you could have 2 legendaries, 3 epics, or 2 epics, sorry, and 1 rare, what would be your dream team of what you'd be choosing? Starting off with the Legos, I guess.
Yeah, and is this your actual account? You've got no Legos at all?
Yes, so I'm going to be struggling, so I think it'll be interesting for when the Sylvan starts. Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, slot number 1 for me, I'll go with that. 100% would be Elva. Like, no question, right? Tons of healing. She's got the revive as well, the speed aura. She's super tanky. Like, she's just the hardcore faction war carry, same as like Syl the Drakes or Arbiter, whatever. It's like, you're just not going to die, you know? And she revives too, so it gives you a good shot for 3-star. Yep. Elva is lock it in.
That's a... Do you know what? I really wish that I had Elva. She was a guaranteed, right?
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
She was just too expensive. I looked at my wallet that day. I was like, I can't afford this, man. But yeah, no, she's probably going to be one of the MVPs. And when we think about some of the bosses out there as well, there's the ignore defense with the turn meter that you do upon hitting, right? And then there's like the transfer effects and stealing your heals. Which is actually the one that you wish it isn't going to be? Like your most hated one?
Oh, the most hated one, yeah, it's probably the one that swaps your buffs and then steals the HP, like swaps HP.
Like the Orc one, right?
The Orc one, he's a pain. Like the Night Rev one is the same one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, that's a pain. He's a real pain. I think he's the hardest one.
Yeah, probably. I think I'm in the same boat. Like, whenever I'm doing the Orcs Faction Wars, I'm like, don't bring in continuous heals, don't bring in these buffs, you're going to get stolen. But even the ignore defense one, I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of followed that route, very similar to the Shadowkin. But... Or maybe we might even get a new Faction Wars boss. Who knows? They might switch up entirely, right?
That would be fun. Yeah. I doubt it, but it would be fun.
So the first champion that I would actually choose is going to be a Green Warden Ruark, because the way that he does the Rust Consume with the AoE decrease attack and also stealing continuous heal buffs from each enemy could actually become useful if it is that boss that steals your buffs, right? Because let's just say they're stealing the continuous heals, you want to get some of those back from the boss, he's not going to be healing. And because it cannot be resisted, I feel like that'd be nice. But also on the A1, transfers all debuffs from this champion to a target. So if you're getting debuffed, you can throw some of those back and then also heals this champion. And also the implementation of the taunt buff. So for those single target abilities from the enemies, could actually come into effect here. It's not as strong as the Provoke, I would say, but if you're just trying to survive through the waves, could be nice, with an increased defense and a strengthen on himself as well. So I kind of wish it was all allies, but when you talk about ultimate tanks for one champion, I feel like he can fulfill that role very nicely. And whenever an ally loses 10% or more of their HP from a single hit, will then place a shield buff. So I think the synergy overall might actually come into effect and a nice defensive aura.
Yeah, I think the passive is really good, actually. Like all their shields, that adds up very quickly to a lot of extra survivability.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so who have you got as your second Dream Team Legendary?
My second, I think it's going to be King Galgabar, actually. Okay. I pulled him recently. Reason being, he has a buff strip, so I'm just thinking, like, you get into that wave and it's like double man-eater or something and it's lined up badly. And then you've got this unkillable buff and it slows down my full auto run. So I'm going in with like the whale perspective. I'm like, just throw that guy in, leave it on auto. He'll strip the buffs off. It's fine.
Yeah.
I think his A3 is actually amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really nice shield with a cleanse as well. I don't really need the cleanse if I've got Elva already, to be honest, but hey, it is what it is. The heal as well is nice, but yeah, I think the shield for survivability is really good, and the buff strip is good.
Mm-hmm.
If it is the boss that steals your buffs, he can strip them off. So yeah, I think he's a good safe bet.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, though, he's one that could easily be replaced with just more damage or something like that. If Elva is enough, this guy could be like, no, you're out of here. They've got no buffs. I'll just throw in.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like if they bring in that Valkyrie wave, that nasty one from the Knights Revenant, this is actually going to be the MVP because he's the right affinity for Valkyrie. He's removing all buffs. He's placing the block buffs. I think he is going to be an MVP if that wave actually comes up. But even if it's like a man-eater wave, blocking the buffs as well could be really strong, right?
Yeah, I forgot about Valkyrie waves.
Yeah,
you're totally right. Yeah, that's the worst one.
That's probably the hardest wave in all of Faction Wars history. So for a strong counter to that wave, for sure. I'm starting to think, like, if I was to choose a second one, would I go for Seisha just because I know I'll never get her? Or, like, Alil, he can hit pretty hard, right? I'm not really too familiar with him since his buff, or if he got one.
He did. Ignore Stone Skin, which isn't going to help you for Faction Wars, but I mean, it's a really good move now.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, because the stats in Faction Wars aren't known to be super high, is he going to be an MVP in terms of damage output? And I think I actually would go for him. I think I'm a big fan of those hard-hitting champions. Like, I love to use, what's his name? Faceless in the Knights Revenant. Single target damage. But he's also stealing the buffs as well. So let's just say if there's a man-eater, all those Valkyries coming through to steal those, or even for the boss itself, he's going to be coming through with some decent damage as well. He's placing block buffs. I think Alil might see a lot of use from a lot of players that have him, right?
Yeah, he's great. And he's void as well, so there's no weak hits. He's going to work against anything they've got. He's got really good passive for this too.
So it increases the champion's HP by 2,000 and defense by 100 for every 1,000 attack they have. And the filling of term meters as well, so... Did you manage to get it from the guaranteed? Or
no, unfortunately, I didn't. I actually think I think he's actually really good. I like him more than most people do, and I think again with the polymorph change, I think that favors him. Obviously, not if you're like top end plat, but I'm not top end plat. I think for me, he would have been really useful to have for like live arena and that, but I don't have him.
So from these champions here, would you say someone like Kleidner or Seisha is ones that you would still implement? I guess you can't go wrong with any of the Legos, right? Because it's so limited.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, looking at them all, I think they're all pretty decent. Like for Faction Wars, if you have any of them, they're probably going to make the cut for sure. Clyde might be pretty good. Keeping your team alive.
The leech, the decreased speed, the healing.
Yeah.
Revive on deaths. Yeah, I think she's going to be very strong. But you guys as well, in the comments, play along with us. Like, let us know your 5 champions that you choose. 2 Legos, 2 epics, 1 rare. So, all right, going into the epics here. I'll let you start again. Where we going?
It's my boy. Dave, Mist Rider Dahi. Yeah, this guy's amazing. He's so good.
I think he will be used by probably every player out there if they got him. So, for anyone that's not aware of how good he is, did I break it down?
Yeah, sure. I mean, so number 1, he gives himself increased attack and increased accuracy with an extra turn. So I think this faction really lacks increased attack for the damage dealers to do damage. He brings it for himself, so he's gonna hit way harder than most of the others will until there's another increased attack champ in there. Increased accuracy is easy to land. But it's A2 is the AoE decreased defense that can also give him an extra turn. And then he goes into his A1. Like he procs extra turns so often that he just pumps out crazy damage, and he's constantly giving himself increased attack and accuracy. He's not going to outrun those buffs. So yeah, he's just blasting. AoE decreased defense is the key to doing Faction Wars quickly. And that's what he brings too. He's one of the best, probably, decreased defense epics like in the game. So he's MVP for this faction.
Yeah. Do you know what? I don't think I've maxed him up on my main account. I think I tried him for a clan boss team on a test server, so I might actually start investing into Mist Rider.
You don't even have him if that's your main account.
Or maybe which one do I have? I don't have any champions.
No, you're in trouble.
I thought I had it. Oh, I am in trouble. Damn. Okay. Well, good thing we're talking about dream teams. So the one that I would choose is Creed in the Blue. Personally, I think he is going to be one of the best in terms of crowd control because he's got increased speed, he's filling turn meters, enabling you to take more turns. We got AoE freeze on a great chance on a 2-time hitter, and also a freeze on the A1, and fills his champion's turn meter for each freeze debuff placed by this champion. Now, even if you don't want to build him just for the Sylvan Watchers, he's going to be great in the Fire Knight Heart with a way that you can use his freeze. And he's just an overall great champion, even for the Doom Tower. I believe that we did a collab with him, right?
We did, yeah, we did.
So, once coming off the back of that video, I was blown away, like no pun intended, with the blue. Really good, really good. Did you manage to pull him yet on like a 2x or something?
No, I don't have this guy yet. I'd love to. He's definitely one of the best legendaries, not legendaries. He's one of the best epics they've added in a long time now. Yeah, no, he seems pretty good.
Is he the only freeze option from this faction? He is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He is.
Yeah, he's definitely, I think he's definitely one of the highlights. Okay, next up. What you got?
Man, next up is actually kind of tough. Like, I'm honestly feeling like probably Elva and Dahi together could probably do the whole thing.
But remember, we got to get those free stars, so you got to have those 5 champions.
Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna laugh at this one. My next one is Ornn, right?
Okay.
I'm just gonna slap him, and because I actually have this champion, I'm just gonna slap him in tanky gear, and he'll do some poisons on the boss. He'd be good.
Okay.
But he's not gonna die. He's not gonna die. So it's just gonna be Elva and Dahi, and Ornn of it tag along for the ride, looking good. But he doesn't need to do anything.
Yeah, just poisoners everywhere.
Yeah, the poisons is pretty nice. Like it's gonna help with the boss. So yeah, he's like, yeah, I'll just hang out with you guys. You guys are cool. I'll do some nice boss damage, and I'm very tanky. Give me a guardian set. Keep Dave alive. That's my job in life.
Yeah, see, even the passive's really good though. Like the way that it stacks, but it resets each round. Like if you're struggling to just like survive the onslaught from the boss, could be a great one. For me, I'm really stuck. Like we will do some honorable mentions at the end, but purely for this one, for my dream team. If it was for the Ignore Defense boss, I'd probably go for White Dryad Nia for the ally protection.
Oh yeah.
Overall, though, I think I'd go for Wirinen, personally, because she's the other champion that can place a revive in the faction. And revives a dead ally with 50% HP and turn meter, places continuous heal on a 4-turn cooldown, which is actually pretty good. At least it's not like some 6-7 turn. She's got filling the turn meters as well and placing an increased speed and then a decreased attack A1. With a speed in Faction Wars by 20% to speed up the run. So if I start paying Creedon and her together, we're going to be taking infinite turns. It's going to be a whopper of a time. So yeah, man, I think Wirinen is one to watch out for sure with the Watchers. Let's go.
Yeah, I hate her design though. Like visually, really? Yeah. I feel like I feel like she's that sort of thing you see on like those really like cheap and sleazy ads for mobile games. Like just complete like clickbait.
To be fair,
like,
she reminds me of like a high elf. Like she's got elfies. I don't know. She looks alright. She looks alright.
She looks alright. Yeah, like I clicked that
ad. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, so we got 3 rares. Okay.
Yeah.
Which one are you valuing more here?
Shadow Bow Tierlack. It's gotta be.
He is.
I like this guy.
Okay, yeah, I can't argue with that. So, what do you like about him?
I mean, he's got a shoot like that. Look at that move. That's really good. 20% max HP shield on everyone. Now it's a 4-turn, but hey, great.
Increased speed.
Increased speed on everyone with an AoE. Hey, even the stun set for Faction War waves. Great. Decreased attack. Cool. Again, he's gonna help the team stay alive, right, with his shielding and all of that and the stun set stuff, and let Dave do the work, basically.
Yeah,
that's the theme of my team.
He was actually a part of the fusion as well, right? One of the I forgot which fusion it was.
Yeah, he might have been.
Yeah,
he might have been. Can I go back in time and edit my 2 epic picks? Can my second epic be a second Miss Rider Dahi? Am I allowed to do that? Yeah. Can I have 2?
Well, you can do that in your personal time, but right now you ain't got no dupes.
All right. Okay.
All right. For my one, I'd probably go with, just for the sake of it, probably Margrave Greenhawk. To be fair, I think all of the rares from this faction are really good.
Yeah, they're really good, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, but this one's really good because he's got the provokes, and once again, leading back if to, hypothetically, if it's a Valkyrie wave, the provoke is going to be very good even on a random placement, because even if you have to run it a few times, you're not going to lose your keys. If you can get it on free of the Valkyries, hypothetically, you're going to be in a good place. We got the reflect damage as well. We got ally protection. We got increased defense. We got continuous heals as well on the lowest allies' HP. I think he's going to be a really good one for players. But that was our dream teams. Is there any honorable mentions here of ones that really stand out to you? Maybe like one from each rarity or something?
Well, I mean, I'd say Nia was one that I didn't pick myself. I don't have her. But I think Nia has to be a good one, especially with the A2, like reducing cooldown. That could be.
You go really for like every single guaranteed event, and you didn't go for White Dryad Nia. What's going on?
No, I don't go for the guaranteed epics. Only the legendaries. Really? Yeah.
But you would have went for Jamiffa, right? If you didn't have one.
Probably not. No.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because like you get the legend, you get the epics just by playing. Eventually, like you play long enough, you get them all. Really, but the legendaries are like you might never see that legendary in like 6 or 7 years.
Oh, so you literally just save up legendaries only, just get them all. Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm just purely focused on legendaries. Yeah, like there's a few epics I'm missing, but like I'll pick them up. I pick them up eventually.
Yeah,
Nia would be one I would want. I don't have.
Yeah, she's really strong, man. Ally protection, strengthen. We got the resetting of the cooldowns on single allies. Maybe your damage dealer. Really strong. We got the A1 AOE decreased speed. Like she is a crazy champion. Like one of my favorite epics in the game. Even someone like Ruella, I think can have a lot of value. Because we've got the increased crit rate. If you're struggling with that, we've got filling turn meters. For the boss itself, we've got decreased speed, weaken, and drop defense, and turn meter reduction. So there's a lot of great options in here. Like it's a very limited faction in terms of champions. So pretty much any of them is gonna play a role for you. But thinking about, I'd say the main thing is a versatility. Like, is a champion doing just one role very well, or are they doing multiple roles very good as well? Like, for me, I'm looking for protection, revives, we want taunts in there, damage dealing, drop defense. Like, you need to consider all of those, not just 1,000 support champions, which might still work, might just take you a longer time, right?
Yeah. I'm wondering they might do like a fusion for Sylvan Watchers maybe next month or the month after. Seeing as the crypt is out, people are going to be looking for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It is the newest faction. I
wouldn't be shocked. That's a good guess, because I think the time that this comes out, a fusion will be due again, right? After this cow that's out at the moment. Are you going for the cow?
I don't know. Like I'm half thinking of doing it, but I'll probably end up skipping it. Like I was half thinking of like maybe maxing out the next Summon Rush event if it's all right, and then buying the 5 fragments I missed for 10. But I was like, or you know what, I could just not do any of it, and
I'd say go enjoy your holiday.
Pretty much. Yeah,
leave that cow.
It's actually, it's one of those things you're always scared taking a holiday in a game like this because you're gonna miss like the news or the big. It's a FOMO. It's actually quite nice to have a holiday, and it's like, oh, the fusion's pretty bad.
It's like everything just drops in that week, like 1,000 things.
Yeah.
But even Lock Wayne, Bruce Wayne, I know we did a collab on him. He's really good, right? The stealing of buffs once again, AoE damage. And I think from our collab, he did decent damage. It wasn't like out of this world stuff, but he doesn't have a speed aura for Faction Wars as for Arena, so you can't really use that. But the way that he converts his accuracy and stuff like that, I think he could have some use for players.
Yeah. He's good early game, mid game Arena, and he might carry over.
I'm really surprised.
Well, I've got Oella. I've got her built. I might use her.
I think you will probably use her, right?
I will. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because I've got her built up. Why not use her?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But yeah, guys. I guess that's gonna be all for today's video. Thank you, Mr. Nubs, for hopping on today, and I hope you have a great holiday and stuff. Anything you want to say here before you fly away? Shoot them into there.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. Everyone, make sure to give the video a thumbs up for poor YST, who has to go through and edit out all of me coughing and sniffling and everything throughout this video. I'm so sorry.
That's so good. But yeah, you guys let us know in the comment section as well your dream teams, which champions you feel are really going to shine. And if you feel that the next fusion is going to be, in fact, a Sylvan Watcher, which I would be excited for, as long as it's like a really good champion. Give us a busted one raid, please. Fragments. Only one summoning event. Yeah. Have an amazing rest of your weekend. We'll catch you guys in a video soon. Peace.